You're not lazy. That's probably one of the biggest lies you've ever believed about yourself. Think about it. There are things you can spend hours doing without feeling tired. You can scroll through social media for 3 hours without noticing the time. You can binge watch an entire series in one night. You can lose yourself in video games, endless YouTube videos, or constantly checking your phone every few minutes. But the moment it's time to work on your goals, read a book, exercise, start a business, or learn a new skill, suddenly you feel exhausted. Your brain tells you, "I'll do it tomorrow." If you've experienced this, it doesn't necessarily mean you're lazy. It means your brain has been trained to crave the easiest reward available. Modern life has quietly rewired your mind. Thousands of years ago, your brain evolved for survival, not happiness. Every time your ancestors found food, avoided danger, or formed social connections, their brains released dopamine. Dopamine wasn't designed to make them feel good. It was designed to motivate them to repeat behaviors that increase their chances of survival. The problem is that your brain can't tell the difference between hunting for food and refreshing your notifications. Every like, every short-form video, every notification, every new piece of content creates a small anticipation of reward. Your brain begins chasing these tiny rewards because they're immediate, effortless, and unpredictable. And unpredictable rewards are some of the most addictive rewards that exist. Think about a slot machine. You don't win every time. You don't know when you'll win. That's exactly why people keep pulling the lever. Social media works almost the same way. You refresh. Maybe there's a funny video. Maybe someone liked your post. Maybe someone messaged you. Maybe nothing happened. Your brain learns that the next swipe might be rewarding, so you keep scrolling. Hours disappear. The scary part isn't that these platforms are entertaining, it's that they're competing against every meaningful goal in your life. Reading requires effort. Building a business requires patience. Learning a language requires repetition. Going to the gym requires discomfort. Your phone requires almost nothing. Your brain naturally begins choosing the path of least resistance. Over time, difficult tasks start feeling even more difficult. Not because they changed, because your baseline for stimulation changed. This is why so many people say they can't focus anymore. It's not that their attention disappeared overnight. Their attention has been divided into thousands of tiny pieces. Every notification teaches your brain to expect interruption. Every 15-second video teaches your brain that information should arrive instantly. Every endless feed teaches your brain that boredom should never exist. Then one day you sit down to read a book. After 3 pages, your brain whispers, "This is boring." Not because the book is boring, because your brain has become addicted to constant novelty. Novelty feels exciting. Mastery feels repetitive. Unfortunately, every meaningful achievement in life requires repetition. The guitar player repeats scales. The athlete repeats drills. The writer edits the same paragraph again and again. The entrepreneur solves similar problems every single day. Success is often boring. Entertainment is designed not to be. Your brain slowly starts confusing stimulation with fulfillment. They're not the same thing. Stimulation feels exciting. Fulfillment feels meaningful. One disappears in minutes. The other compounds for years. Imagine eating candy every day. Eventually, fruit begins tasting bland. Not because fruit changed, because your taste buds adapted to excessive sugar. Your mind works exactly the same way. When your brain constantly consumes extreme stimulation, ordinary life begins feeling dull. Conversations become boring. Books become boring. Work becomes boring. Silence becomes unbearable. Even your own thoughts become uncomfortable. That's why many people reach for their phones within seconds of being alone. Not because they're curious, because they've forgotten how to simply exist without stimulation. The irony is that boredom isn't your enemy. It's one of the most important mental states you can experience. When you're bored, your brain starts making connections. It reflects, it imagines, it creates. Many of humanity's greatest ideas didn't happen while people were endlessly distracted. They happened during long walks, quiet mornings, showers, waiting, looking out of a window, moments where the mind had room to wander. Today, we've eliminated almost every moment of boredom. Waiting in line, phone. Eating alone, phone. Walking somewhere, phone. Using the bathroom, phone. We've replaced every empty space with content, and in doing so, we've crowded out deep thinking. There's another reason you feel lazy: decision fatigue. Every single day, your brain makes thousands of decisions. What to wear, what to eat, which message to reply to, which app to open, whether to work or procrastinate. By evening, your mental energy is drained. That's why many successful people reduce unnecessary decisions. They automate routines. They wear similar clothes. They eat similar breakfasts. They schedule important work early. Not because they're obsessed with productivity, because they understand that willpower is limited. The biggest mistake people make is believing they need more motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you only work when you feel motivated, you'll spend most of your life waiting. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself every day. It's about making good decisions easier than bad ones. If your phone sits beside your bed every night, your environment is encouraging distraction. If unhealthy snacks fill your kitchen, your environment encourages poor eating. If your workspace is cluttered, your environment encourages procrastination. People often blame themselves for habits that are actually products of their environment. Change the environment and behavior becomes easier. There's another uncomfortable truth. Many people aren't addicted to their phones. They're addicted to escaping themselves. Silence forces you to confront uncomfortable questions. Am I happy? Am I wasting my potential? Do I actually enjoy my job? Why am I avoiding this conversation? Distraction protects you from those questions, but it also prevents growth. Growth usually begins where distraction ends. The first few days of reducing stimulation often feel uncomfortable. Your brain complains, everything feels slow, you become restless, you want to check your phone every few minutes. That's not failure, that's withdrawal. Your brain is adjusting to a healthier level of stimulation. Eventually, something remarkable happens. Books become interesting again. Conversations become deeper. Nature becomes beautiful again. Music feels richer. Ideas come more easily. Your attention slowly returns. This doesn't mean technology is evil. Your phone isn't the enemy. Social media isn't the enemy. The problem begins when the tools start controlling the person using them. Technology should serve your goals. Your goals shouldn't serve technology. Imagine two people waking up tomorrow morning. The first person immediately checks notifications. They scroll for 30 minutes, compare themselves to strangers, react to everyone else's priorities before considering their own. The second person spends 30 minutes reading, exercising, journaling, or simply sitting quietly with coffee before touching their phone. Both people had the same 24 hours, but one protected their attention, the other gave it away. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If you spend years giving your attention to meaningless distractions, don't be surprised when your life feels directionless. If you consistently invest your attention into learning, building, creating, and connecting with people you love, your life slowly transforms. Not overnight, but inevitably. The truth is, you don't become what you want. You become what you repeatedly pay attention to. Maybe you've been calling yourself lazy for years. Maybe you've believed you lack discipline. Maybe you've compared yourself to people who seem endlessly productive. Before you judge yourself again, ask a different question. Has your brain been trained for focus, or has it been trained for distraction? Because those are two completely different lives. The good news is that your brain can change. Neuroplasticity means your mind is constantly adapting to what you repeatedly do. Every time you choose deep work over endless scrolling, you're rewiring your brain. Every time you finish what you started instead of chasing another distraction, you're strengthening your ability to focus. Every time you embrace boredom instead of escaping it, you're rebuilding the attention that modern life has slowly stolen. You were never meant to spend your life reacting to notifications. You were meant to create, to think deeply, to solve meaningful problems, to build relationships, and to become someone you're proud of. You're not lazy. You've simply been living in a world that's competing for your attention every second of every day. The moment you take that attention back is the moment you take your life back.